With the rise and fall of a lot of players that have been considered the best players in the world in the last couple of years, and with the rise of Liquid Tasia recently, do you think that StarCraft 2 has the capacity to have a bonjour like the Brood War scene did for extended periods of time, or is it just too random at this point in time?
It's a great question. In my opinion, if you were to put a gun to my head and say I had to answer it right now, because I think this deserves a lot of time to be thought out, my answer would be through Heart of the Swarm and Legacy of the Void, the answer is no, because the game will be in a continuous state of balance and change. And I think if we took this game 2 or 3 afters Legacy of the Void and it was like done, they've balanced it, there's no more.
Hey, instead of putting a gun in your head, what if we put a burger to your mouth? Do you still think you'd be able to answer the question?
Yes, I do. Yeah,
That man is so hilarious.
I'm gonna leave Adam unmuted actually for an opportunity to make a funnier joke.
That was just a good response.
Yeah.
Alright, well, let me see. You're pretty much terrible at the game. You get paid for being, like,
Shut up,
absolutely terrible. It's pretty embarrassing.
What do you do, bud?
No, hang on, guys. It's fine. Let him talk.
I'm not getting paid 6 digits to fucking do nothing.
Well, let me ask you this,
Don't
Adam.
spoil this for him.
No,
This
guys,
is the
it's
greatest
okay.
moment of his life.
It's okay. I know. Give this man his moment. Adam, what do you do for a living?
I work at a supermarket in London.
You work at a supermarket, you said?
What? Yeah.
Do you try to do the best job you possibly can? Like, do you work as hard as you can to be as best as you can?
No.
No. Well, it kind of takes. I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. I am not good at this game. You're right. Relative to the very, very best players, I'm not. You're absolutely correct. But I work as hard as I can to do the best job I possibly can. And a lot of the times what that means is I try and engage people. I try to include people. I commentate as best as I can because there's need for good commentators. I try to host as good as I can because...
Alright, your commentating sucks because every time I listen to you, you try these stupid, shitty accents that aren't funny. And it totally ruins the moment.
Shut up, man.
I like him.
No, guys. It's okay.
Yeah, I find them funny.
Well, you know what? He brings up a valid point. Not everyone finds them funny. But enough people do find it funny, and it is unique enough that it is something that it's part of my shtick, if you will. I do those kind of things. I'm guessing.
Not to mention, comedy is subjective.
Well, that's a very good point too. I mean, I guess Adam, the biggest point I'm trying to make here is that I don't broadcast to people that I'm poor and doing bad in StarCraft, and I don't care, and I don't give a shit. I tell people that I do care because I do. I do quite well for myself because I work really hard. I work every day for about 12, 14
And I
hours.
can respect that, but what about when there are players that are foreigners that are way better than Idra, yet you go on these shows and you talk like players from each year the best. You're out there to force your brand. You're not being honest.
I try to be honest most of the time, but when you're speaking to a community, you have to actually lower and dull your opinions so that it doesn't actually exclude people or alienate people. But when I talk about my teammates and I say they're really good, I think that's a good mindset because part of what we do on our shows is we advertise ourselves and those around us. So if I sat on a show and talked shit about my own team, not only does that hurt my credibility, but it hurts my brand / my team's brand, and my success is dependent upon my team's success. So if that really bothers someone, you should never listen to a show where a player is talking on it. The only people you should ever listen to are people that are completely independent and that that's it. Those are the only people you could ever listen to. So I mean, Adam, you're not really responding to this, and I think this is just you. It sounds like you might be coming around at this, but you bring up good points. You don't think I'm a good player. You don't like my jokes and commentary, and you don't like that on shows I talk about my teammates. But at the end of the day, if you logically think about it, I'm trying to do the best I can to raise myself and those around me up. And if that still angers you, if it really upsets you, and if you hate me for it, then I think at some point you have to stop looking outside of yourself for what's causing you to be angry and start looking within yourself, because there's a lot of people that aren't good at what they do, but they're trying their fucking hardest to do a good job, and those people should not. I don't think they should get your wrath. I mean, do you really think that I deserve your hate?
Well, if you guys say you want esports to grow like you do, I mean, it's great that you push your team up, but pretty much make everything worse.
Well, I would beg to differ.
I would say
I don't think I make everything worse. A lot of the time, I mean, I actually have little pet projects. Like I do this thing every Friday where I try to put on blast through my Twitter and a blog on Team Liquid streams that are not featured because I want those guys to get raised up. I do as much as I can to learn about the community and try to educate people about other players. I actually talk very little about myself as a player on my shows, and only in like the final moments of a show do I even talk about my Twitter and stuff like that because I'm trying to raise other people up. Of course, I fail. Sometimes I say too much. Sometimes I say stupid shit about people. The whole Naniwa thing was really dumb, but and that certainly is going to get people that dislike me. The only but I would add after that is that I'm still trying to do what's best for the community and raise everybody up. But of course, my company pays my bills and my teammates are my friends, and they also pay my bills through our like group effort. So if you think me advertising for EG hurts the rest of the community, to a certain extent you're right by capitalist notions, but I would argue on a community level, a team doing really, really well raises the highest torch.
You gave that guy way too much credit.
Oh no, I don't give him any credit. I just he's bringing up things that people say, and it's interesting to talk about. It's one thing to type it on a forum and like, leave it there, but when it's voice to voice, people tend to be a little bit more willing to hear things out.
Looks like the trolls run back to the cave.
Looks like you're a fucking idiot, mate. I'm still here.
I think it is really important though to be proud of your teammates.
Oh shit!
You should always value your teammates and try and help them out as best you can. And you always seem to do a pretty good job of that. I mean, you're even critical of your teammates when, I don't know, sometimes they need it most.
Yeah.
And I think that someone like In Control here deserves a little bit more respect for working 14 hours a day.
Yeah, I think on the flip side of that coin, what In Control and his team does, just the raw amount of content that they put out for the community to watch and enjoy, there's a lot of people out there that really enjoy what you guys do, and I just want to say thanks for everything you guys do for the community, the amount of entertainment that you provide for everybody.
You guys are praising In Control like he's some kind of hero, but he's not good at the game. He's just a PR guy for EG. He doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
There's players who play 14 hours a day.
We should be praising you for your sick carpet, for your sick bagging micro. Sick, man.
Oh no.
Don't back on his job, but
I mean, don't bash his job or anything.
It's Jeff's time, so that's what we're here. We're his fans, and we're listening to what he has to say. So it's what he's doing for us, for the community.
Well,
like reaching out and just allowing people to talk back and forth with him is, I think, a pretty big deal. I don't find any other teams out there that really do what EG does.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, there's a reason why we're watching the stream.
Yeah, it's a little. I hate to apply logic to a lot of what you're saying, Adam, because it sounds like this conversation is really call for it, but it would be a little bit weird to come in here and get upset at people for treating me like a focal point for the conversation because it's my stream and I invited them here. Right? Isn't that
I'm just saying in general, people are stupid. You work hard, but there's people who work way harder than you, and you don't deserve what you get.
So everyone's stupid because you don't agree.
There's so many ways to take this. Let's go existential on what you just said. You said that it's stupid and that people work harder than me, so I don't deserve what I get. But Adam, you yourself said you don't work very hard at your job, so the minimum wage salary that you do get paid.
And I don't deserve to get a lot out of it.
I don't think you do. But the argument, if we were to go much further beyond that, would be to say that like you don't deserve anything you have because there's harder people working than you. I think that's a very difficult mindset to kind of try to maintain. That would be a really hard way to look at the world. I work really hard, but no one would ever argue I'm the hardest worker on the planet. That would be fucking weird to say. So at this point, I asked, like, how old are you actually?
I'm 20.
Unfortunately, that is older than I thought you would be. I mean, shit. What I would say is at this point in time, like, if no one's told you this yet, allow me to sit you down, young man, and try to tell you, like, being upset at people for their success because you don't think they deserve it, every psychoanalytical situation we could possibly do on this would argue that you are insecure with yourself and having a tough time with those around you. Like, this is very classic. So I would not put it on blast. I mean, you're kind of anonymous on the internet, so no one's going to contact you at home and like talk about how, poor you're doing, but I would just say, like, consider this. Just think about it. If you're spending time being very upset at me because you think I don't deserve things, then you're probably wasting your time.
No, I just came in here for a cheap laugh, but it's just pathetic how embarrassing these guys sucking your dick are. They retweet you with a fucking Monster Energy drink to get 2 seconds of fame because they're delusional.
But
do you hate movie stars?
Well, that's the most obvious question to ask him, but I have in my opinion, and this is weird to say, I have an even more interesting one to ask him. You're upset at them for being favorable to me and spending time with me in that way, but you're spending more time and energy in the opposite direction. Like, I hate getting sunburned, so I won't stand outside and continuously get sunburned over and over again because that would be stupid to do. But it feels like if what you're saying is actually what you believe, that would be the equivalent to what you're doing right now. Like, you don't like the people in here, you don't like me, and this would be the cheapest of cheap laughs, as raid call is free, you will note. Thank you for signing up, by the way. Appreciate that. You've contributed to the Evil Geniuses brand and market. And this conversation.
There you go with that passive aggressiveness.
What was passive aggressive about that? I thanked you for contributing to something that you did.
Okay.
When are we gonna play free for all?
Soon. I want to play a couple more real
Honestly,
games.
I don't see a problem with supporting your team. It's the same thing as buying a team jersey for a football team or a hockey team or whatever.
Fucking sucks.
If you like a bad sports team and you buy their jersey, that makes you a bad person, and you shouldn't do that.
Nah, it's okay. I muted him for now. Like, I'm always interested, and that's probably part of the reason why I get as much negative attention as I do. Is I am always interested in entertaining the discussion, but if he's just gonna call names and just kind of like blurt out things in a monotone 20-year-old stupid voice, I'm not gonna. We're done. Okay, I'm gonna play another game. And like you said, the free for all, we're definitely gonna do that.